Good morning, Andrew. President Biden later this morning set to deliver his own address, which National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says will seek to put the war in Ukraine into the context of democracy against brute force, echoing remarks Mr. Biden delivered from Poland after meeting with President Duda just about a year ago. You can see President Biden arriving at the presidential palace in Warsaw this morning ahead of that expanded meeting that he will have with the Polish president. 10,000 U.S. troops are stationed in Poland, which is a critical conduit for weaponry coming from the U.S. The 32nd such package was unveiled yesterday, $450 million in rocket launchers, javelins, and artillery, and another $10 million to bolster Ukraine's energy grid, which has consistently come under missile fire. President Biden seeking to galvanize more support from the U.S. in a surprise visit to the war-torn capital of Kyiv yesterday, a trip by military jet and 10 hours each way by train through the Ukrainian countryside. That trip very secretive, but months in the making. Top administration officials have been warning China, meanwhile, of the consequences it would face if it assists the Kremlin in its war. Secretary of State Tony Blinken made that point directly to his Chinese counterpart in Munich when they met over the weekend. And the Deputy Treasury Secretary confirming the U.S. would sanction individuals and companies that were providing material support, saying last night that Beijing's siding with the Kremlin will lead them to being cut off from being able to do business with the G7. Now, as for communication between the U.S. and Russia directly, a senior U.S. official says that it remains ready to talk to Russia over arms control after President Putin's announcement that Russia would pull out of a key nuclear arms treaty. Of course, there are no calls scheduled, and when the U.S. notified the Kremlin of plans for President Biden to visit Ukraine for deconfliction purposes, a senior official says this morning Russia did not respond. Andrew, back to you.